reigning Cy Young winner in the National League in Game 1 of the Babe Ruth Series. Tim Lincecum against the A's next. It is a beautiful night to be out of doors here in the San Francisco Bay Area, and it's the all-Bay Area matchup at AT Park. The Oakland Athletics of the American League West, the San Francisco Giants of the National League West. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller, along with Mike Krukow, 14 years a Major League player, 20 years a broadcaster with the Giants, and Ray Fosse, 11 years as a player and 25 years broadcasting A's baseball. Now, the A's took all 3 games from the Giants when they first met over in Oakland 3 weeks ago. But, Ray, it's not quite the same lineup for the Athletics tonight. 2 very important members missing tonight. Kurt Suzuki, unfortunately, his grandfather passed away. Bereavement for him this weekend. And also Rajai Davis, a left hamstring injury. He's not going to play tonight, hopefully tomorrow night or Sunday afternoon. But those 2 guys, especially Kurt Suzuki, has been very hot. He does a tremendous job handling the pitching staff. He will be missed. Landon Powell, of course, will be catching. And Rajai Davis, with his speed, we know what he can do. He'll be missed as well. Don't even have the manager here. Oh, that's right. Ty Waller will be managing the Athletics, with Bob Guerin attending a graduation in the family. Now, Mike, the Giants had only the 1 run in those 3 games in Oakland. The Athletics pitching staff just throttled the Giants all weekend long. But the Giants come home from a road trip in which they hit the ball real well. So can they do a little bit better this time?
Well, I hope so. Those are the longest 3 days of the season for me. The Giants got 1 run in 3 games over in Oakland. They were outpitched, outplayed, and certainly outhit. However, this is not the same Giants team that the A's saw in Oakland. They're seeing 3 guys now. Freddie Sanchez, who was there, but he's swinging the bat now. He is Freddie Sanchez. Pat Burrell, who's been hot, and Buster Posey, the new addition to the Giants lineup that has brought lots of energies and lots of base hits. So they got more hitters. Hopefully they score a few more runs, and hopefully they do better. That was a fun weekend. It's a cage match up here in the booth, and who knows what's going to happen. Now, the Giants do have a much different lineup, with Posey hitting 3rd, Sandoval hitting 7th. And coming up, NBC Bay Area Sports Director Raj Mathai will be back with the Xfinity pregame show after these words.
next generation in home entertainment, available right now in the Bay Area and coming soon to the Central Valley. Welcome to the ballpark. I'm Raj Mathai. The next few days, it's expected to be red hot temperature-wise here in the Bay Area and throughout Northern California, and that should match the intensity of this series. Nothing better than the A's and Giants, the Bay Bridge Series, Game 1, just moments away. Now, for the Giants, they're not happy. In fact, a little ticked off about what happened a few weeks ago in Oakland. Not just being swept by the A's, but scoring only one run in that three-game set. Couple of notables now for the Athletics. Kurt Suzuki not in the lineup tonight or this entire series. He is out on bereavement leave. His grandfather passed away. And A's skipper Bob Guerin not here tonight. He is with his son across the bay at graduation ceremonies for San Ramon Valley High School. And one other disadvantage for the Athletics, it's interleague play. We are in a National League ballpark, and that means no designated hitter. And that leads us to our Xfinity Game Vision. You can be your own producer or director right in the comfort of your own home, manipulating all the video. So the A's pitchers will have to bat. The Giants pitchers are just fine batting. Relatively speaking, they swing it pretty well. Tim Lincecum had that 3-hit performance last month at Dodger Stadium, and then earlier this week in Cincinnati, hello to Barry Zito and Matt Cain. They both had run-scoring singles. Combined this season, the Giants pitching staff, starting pitchers, between Lincecum, Zito, and Cain are 10 for 70 with 6 RBI. Xfinity Game Vision, powered by Xfinity TV, on demand. You can catch complete replays of every Giants game all season long. Just tune into Channel 1. Okay, we're not just talking about the pitching. Tonight, a fine matchup, though. Tim Lincecum against Gio Gonzalez. We're also talking about the Giants' new hitter, their new left fielder, not new to the Bay Area, but this is his San Francisco debut as a Giant. We check in with Pat the Bat coming up next. Generation in home entertainment, available right now in the Bay Area and coming soon to the Central Valley. A gorgeous Friday evening for baseball, and we are all set to go. Giants and the A's. Good evening to you. I'm Raj Mathai inside the Giants dugout. Upstairs in the NBC booth, Ray Fosse, John Miller, and Mike Krukow. Let's talk about some names to keep your eyes on tonight. Kevin Kuzminov swinging a hot bat for the A's. We already mentioned Kurt Suzuki out on bereavement leave. As for the Giants, Juan Uribe swinging it really well, as is Buster Posey. And we should also keep our eye on, perhaps the biggest storyline tonight, is the Giants' new left fielder. We're talking about Pat Burrell. Yes, he joined the Giants a couple of weeks ago, but tonight is his San Francisco debut as a Giant. 33 years old, won a World Series with the Phillies, but last month cut by the Tampa Bay Rays. And now Pat Burrell knows this might be his last shot at staying in the major leagues here with the Giants. We spoke with him just a few minutes ago.
getting released, and being at home and not knowing where things were headed. It's a difficult transition. I've kind of felt like, I had something else left to offer. I thought I could, still be productive and help. So for me to get the opportunity was huge. It all worked out perfect. I mean, it couldn't set up better for me. Obviously, being from here and having my family and everybody around, and friends and people I grew up with and stuff, having a chance to come back to all that is special. And then when you take into account that there's some guys I played with before, and being a Giants fan as a kid and all that, it's just it's made for a pretty good story.
Yes, it is a good story, but Pat Burrell also knows that this is it. He needs to make it work so far for the Giants. A nice start so far with the Giants in his games here. He is 5 for 15. He is starting tonight once again in left field. So Pat the Bat and his family on hand tonight, and we are ready for the first pitch and the starting lineups. Giants baseball right here on NBC Bay Area and the Giants Television Network.
County Fair, and it's open, free of charge for admission. There are charges for the various rides and the other carnival games and food and that sort of thing. But it's a great chance to come down near the ballpark and have the kids enjoy the carnival and then come over and see the ball game. The weather at game time brought to you by Southwest Airlines, where bags fly free. 71 degrees here at the corner of 3rd and King Streets, 24 Willie Mays Plaza. 10 miles per hour, the winds out of the west, and 53% the humidity. The forecast, clear, beautiful, practically perfect in every way. I'm John Miller with Ray Fosse, A's broadcaster, Mike Krukow, and we are having our own bit of Subway Series detente here on the television. So let's take a look at the Oakland A's batting order. It'll be Mark Ellis leading it off at second base, Derek Barton at first base, Ryan Sweeney, who is on a roll right now, 10 for 20 in the last 6 games, Kevin Kuzminoff at third, Gabe Gross in center, Landon Powell is the catcher with Kurt Suzuki away on bereavement leave back in the Hawaiian Islands with his family after his paternal grandfather passed away. Eric Patterson in left, Cliff Pennington the shortstop, Gio Gonzalez the pitcher, all up against Tim Lincecum.
Defensively for the Giants, they'll have Burrell, Rowan, and Torres. That's your outfield. Uribe on the left side. We're joined by Sandoval. Sanchez and Posey on the right side. Molina with the catching equipment on. He'll put the signs down for Tim Lincecum.
And the first pitch is a strike to Mark Ellis. What a night here at the ballpark. And the forecast I saw says it's not just for more of the same through the weekend, but to get even warmer, as Lincecum just misses with that one. Tim Cheetah called to the ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tim Cheetah, the home plate umpire, the crew chief. And the curveball hangs too high, and it is 2-1. Ellis hitting .277, 1 home run, 13 batted in. Bob Davidson at first, Alfonso Marquez at second, Tim Timmons umpiring at third. That ball is hammered down the left field line, and that's going to be extra bases. Into the corner. Burrell digs it out, and Ellis is standing at second with a double.
It's all about the pitching count. Lincecum fell behind, throw a fastball.
Let's take a look at those numbers by Tim Lincecum. 13th start, 5-2 on the year. However, the last 4 outings have been a bit of a struggle. The last outing in Pittsburgh, however, the second time through the lineup, he began to find the release point of his fastball, curveball, and his changeup. And for the first time, it looked like he was out front, and the pitch performance was what you were accustomed to seeing in April and early May. He had been in a slump, and hopefully it's over.
Derek Barton trying to bunt the runner up, and he fouls it. The count is 0-1. Barton hitting .283, 4 homers, 23 batted in. He also has 42 walks at a .398 on base percentage. So Barton is one of the best in the American League at just getting on base right now. 5th in the league in on base percentage.
We've seen him a lot of times just bunt the ball with a double in this situation. He's going to try it again.
There's the bunt up the first base side. That'll get him over. Lincecum gets the put out at first with Posey taking the throw. So Ellis is at first. Now the manager, Bob Guerin, is not here tonight. And there's a graduation. Who graduated?
His oldest son, Bobby, who's going to be going to Princeton. Or, well, he was drafted, we'll see, but more likely he will be going to Princeton and play baseball there. So Ty Waller, the A's bench coach, is tonight's acting manager.
Old teammate of mine.
Yeah? Don't say old.
Oh, he's old.
What does that make you?
Old.
Giants move the infield in, and that's a foul by Ryan Sweeney. Sweeney chasing that high fastball, hitting .320. 1 homer, 28 batted in.
Mike Gallego, very good infielder during his days, a lot with the Athletics. Good job of getting out of the way of the ball.
The Athletics playing for the first run here, and that's to Posey. He goes home with it, the tag, and he is out.
I don't know. Well, we had a couple at the Coliseum this last homestand.
Well, we're going to make it our forward right choice, and why not? You got one of the best arms on the team at first base. Buster Posey has a cannon and throws a strike right to Molina, and he slaps the tag right in front of plate umpire Tim Cheetah.
It's all about the leg. If he slides around, he might have been in safe. That gets him on the upper leg, the left leg. Mark Ellis, kind of a slide, that a pop-up that you'd use at second base. And by lifting the leg, that's where Molina got him. Good call by Tim Cheetah.
Yeah, that front leg did not go to the plate. If it had, he would have been safe. But as you called it, it went right over the top of the plate. And the folded in and the folded under leg is the one that finally hit the plate. But he'd been tagged.
Yeah, not even close, Ray.
As I said, at the Coliseum last few days, some that you would think should have been out, as shown on the replay, were called safe. So you never know anymore what you're going to get.
The Giants know that story too. Here is Kevin Kuzmanoff with a runner at first, 2 down. So big play there by Buster Posey, who is a catcher playing first base. And this is his first year of experience at first. When he was at Fresno, he primarily caught. He did play first several times during the Cactus League schedule, but he's done an excellent job over there since coming up to the big leagues, as a check swing by Kuzmanoff fouled off his leg.
All right, one more look as Molina seals it off with his left leg. The tag on his right leg with Ellis's leg up. Close play.
You know, you see so often now where a runner will slide farther away from the plate, reach back, tackle with a hand, that would have been a good time to do it.
Yeah, a fadeaway in the dirt and away from Molina. And over to second base goes Sweeney. So the Athletics again have a runner in scoring position after the wild pitch.
All right, Ray, how do you block these? I mean, breaking ball is the easiest one to block, but a fastball or a split that is unpredictable. I mean,
but watch what Benji does. He's straight up. He does not tuck his shoulders, puts his hand behind him, and goes straight up. That ball is off his mitt. But the Molinas, it seems, at least we see Jose during in the American League, and when you put your right hand behind your back, it straightens you up to where the ball comes off your body someplace. That would just happen to hit his catcher's mitt.
And that slider is down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There's a reason they call it blocking, just to get your body in front of the ball.
But do you like that method or not?
No. Okay. The right hand has to be, because it forces you to take both shoulders and kind of cup in to make this a very soft area.
To hopefully make the carom come straight out.
Straight out.
Okay.
Keep it in front of you, straight out, at least close enough to you that you can get to it to avoid the advancement.
In the dirt, and that one off the glove of Molina to third, and safe is Sweeney. The throw gets away from Sandoval, but Sweeney is not going to take a shot at it. So Benji's having a rough inning.
Well, he would say Lincecum is. Throw the ball up, and he doesn't have to worry about it, but ball hit the plate.
Those are the toughest to block. And you don't know if they're going to stay down. You don't know if they're going to come up. It can hit the lip of the plate.
Now what does this do with the runner at third after a couple of wild pitches has advanced him there? Does he go to anything but a fastball?
3-2 the count with the left-handed hitting Gross on deck. And the changeup base hit to left field. And it's 1-0 Oakland. Well, 2 free bases after they cut down the runner at the plate. But 2 free bases set the Athletics up, and they have scored that run. The first run that they were going for all along.
Well, it's amazing. And then behind the plate, you're afraid of having a ball bounce, so you're going to call something that the pitcher at least will keep it elevated. He threw it more for a strike instead of a swing and miss strikeout. And Kuzminoff, who's been swinging the bat 12-game hitting streak, keeps it going.
That's what a runner at third base could do to you.
33rd RBI of the year for Kuzminoff. Now Gabe Gross. And he got the call there, the low strike with that breaking ball. Gross is hitting .281, 1 home run, 10 batted in. The setting sun reflecting off the hitter's backdrop and the scoreboard complex with the rest of the field in the shadows. A difficult time of day for a hitter's visibility. That sun reflecting right into the hitter's eyes. And that is not the way the hitter would look at it. When you look past that pitcher into that bright backdrop, your eyes adjust for the brightness. 0-1 the count. And in there, strike 2 call with a fastball.
Most of the fastballs that Lincecum will throw will be 2-seam fastballs, and at times he'll start that thing on the inside corner to a lefty, and it'll cut all the way across the plate. He'll catch it on the outside corner.
And that is a tremendous pitch, especially to lefties from a right-hander. With that kind of movement, just freezes hitters. Can't pull the trigger.
2 down, runner at first. A run is in. And a very desperate kind of a hack there, and it worked. A foul that ended up just inches behind home plate.
That's a big league emergency swing right there.
Gabe Gross did it in Detroit. An exact knee, the left-hander, as he waits right the last second.
That's a good one.
Knee, a left-hander, threw him a breaking ball. Kept waiting for it to break. It never did. So he did a similar swing inside out, rolled it up the first baseline. He scored a run. Ended up being the go-ahead run.
0-2 to Gross. Now time is taken.
Gabe Gross is a pretty good baseball player. Consider he was a quarterback at Auburn. And a good quarterback. His father an NFL player, so it's kind of in the family, but he decided to stick with baseball.
Gross, who was in the World Series a couple of years ago with the Tampa Bay Rays, also in the National League with the Milwaukee Brewers. Now with the Athletics. 0-2 the count. Oakland has been home and actually had a game just across the bay yesterday afternoon, and Trevor Cahill pitched another beauty. The Giants played in Cincinnati yesterday. Here's the pitch, and a Ground ball to Sanchez, and the inning is over. But the Athletics have a run. Giants are coming up now against Gio Gonzalez. In the Bay Area for baseball fans, all roads lead to AT Park on the shores of San Francisco Bay. It's the All-Bay Area matchup. The Giants batting order now. Andres Torres in right field. Freddie Sanchez at second, hitting .400 here at home this year. Buster Posey moved up to the number 3 spot with a .444 average. Juan Uribe, the RBI leader at short. Pat Burrell in left field. Benji Molina, the catcher. Pablo Sandoval in the number 7 spot of the order. He's not hit well right-handed. Aaron Rowan, the center fielder, and then Tim Lincecum bats 9th. All against Gio Gonzalez, who's having an excellent year for the Athletics. And he throws a strike called on the outside. Gonzalez 6-3 with a 3.58 earned run average. 73 innings, only 60 hits allowed, and only 4 home runs as Torres pulls one foul. Andres hitting .296, 3 home runs, 16 batted in. What can you tell us about Gio Gonzalez?
Well, he's added a changeup, which has taken a lot of the hitters off just his fastball. At one time, it was take his curveball, sit on the fastball. They can't do it anymore. And, of course, the great curveball. He likes to throw to the back foot of the right-handed hitter, throw it hard. That was kind of a get-me-over type curveball. 13 start for Gio. 32 walks, few too many for him. But when he throws and lets it go, especially his curveball, it's excellent.
2-2 the count to Torres.
Started a little rocking motion, you see, John. Kind of sets himself. Crook, you could probably explain it a little bit more, the way he wants to get his balance underneath him. So a little rocking motion instead of rushing forward, and it keeps him back nicely.
You see a lot of guys come out of Japan with that same type of timing mechanism. It's just a way to keep yourself back.
And he ends up walking Andres Torres. That little rocking motion a la Daisuke Matsuzaka with the Red Sox.
But he started this in the middle of a game, and that was against Cleveland. And all of a sudden, what is this? But explain later, it can stand up right over the mound, right over the rubber anyway, and balance himself. But the one thing, too, that last pitch outside, when he follows through and pitches inside the right-handers, he follows through completely. When he tries to throw to the outside part of the plate, he guides it a little bit too much.
Freddie Sanchez shows bunt, takes a fastball for a strike.
Well, one of the biggest problems guys have is rhythm. And more often than not, it's quickness in their rhythm that takes them out of a good flow, out of a good mechanical ability to repeat their arm stroke. And then, you just kind of hunker back in your back leg. It slows you down.
Good point.
And you see a lot of guys, like I say, out of Japan that does it. And a lot of, if you look at Daisuke Matsuzaka, same deal. He's got a little bit of a pause there where he kind of does a wiggle. Kurata with the Dodgers, same thing.
Up and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. What about the move of Gio Gonzalez if you're a base stealer?
It's not that great. I mean, he will throw over just because he'll get the sign from the catcher, as all pitchers do now. But it's not that great. A lot of times a runner might go first move and he might get lucky. Derek Barton, like Posey, former catcher, a great arm, and he does a great job at first.
And that curve is a ball a little bit too low, apparently, and the count is 2-1. So he's not getting a strike with that curveball so far.
Well, if he's going to struggle, will be in the first inning. He can throw a lot of pitches in the first inning, get settled in, and then finish it out.
And Tim Cheetah's a guy that usually has a big zone early in the game. He looks for strikes early in the game. And he has a low ball preference, but I've always liked his balls of strike calling.
Torres away from first, the Giants leading base stealer. Out of the slide step, that ball is pulled foul, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And defensively for the Athletics, with Rajay Davis not in the lineup, Gabe Gross is in center with Patterson in left, Sweeney in right. Sweeney's doing a great job catching and throwing. Kevin Kuzmanoff at third. Pennington at short, struggling with the bat, but doing an outstanding job defensively. Ellis and Barton on the right side, and Landon Powell, in the absence of Kurt Suzuki, is behind the plate.
There goes Torres, and a high fly ball to right, and Sweeney. That is out number 1. Torres back to first. The wind blowing out toward San Francisco Bay at game time.
Torres bent over at the waist like he's out of breath. He only ran about 40 feet.
Good coffee.
Here's Buster Posey now, hitting .444. Posey, 45 at bats since being called up. First ball swinging and a pop-up caught by Sweeney in shallow right. So Posey is gone just like that. 2 men down. And now Uribe coming up. The Athletics are leading 1-0 here in the first inning.
And I think that's a case of a hitter, in this case, Posey, a third hitter. Seeing a lot of fastballs first pitch, figured he's going to get one, and that one just had to have a little bit of movement going away from him and could not really drive the ball.
I'm a little surprised that too. I mean, I know you have a runner on, he's not scoring position. I still think first time through, take a couple pitches, just at least get to know the movement and the velocity of a fastball.
It's a great point. You cannot see it in the on-deck circle or in the dugout.
Over talking to Hensley Mullins, the hitting instructor, alongside manager Bruce Bochy.
So this guy, first pitch fastball, he might do something with it though. Uribe, a very good fastball here, as we've seen.
And the fastball is off the outside for ball 1. Gio Gonzalez pitched 8 shutout innings against the Giants back on May 22nd in Oakland. You see Uribe with 9 RBIs in his last 7 games. And the changeup is low. 2-0 the count. Uribe had 5 runs batted in the first 2 games of the series in Cincinnati. Gio Gonzalez has not lost a game since May the 12th. When he lost one at Texas. That's in the right center field for a base hit. Torres digging for third. And he'll stop there as Gross gets it back in. Now Pat Burrell with his first at bat here in his new home ballpark.
Left fielder, number 9, Pat Burrell.
So Burrell, a Bay Area native who has hit .333. He's only played 6 games so far for the Giants. But he swung the bat well enough that Bruce Bochy said we got to get him in the lineup. And Aaron Rowan sat out a couple of games in Cincinnati in favor of Burrell, and now Aubrey Huff sits out tonight. That curveball, ooh, that looked pretty good. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, I think there's a time when the catcher, you tell Tim Cheetah, even in warm-up pitches, watch his curveball. He likes to throw it. That hit a lot of the plate for Landon Powell to catch it where he did.
It's a good pitch.
And a fastball a little bit low. 2-0 the count.
It's a tighter zone than what we're normally used to seeing Cheetah have.
Well, one thing about Gio Gonzalez in the past, and he's not so much lately, but he lets missed calls get to him.
Fastball and a high pop-up. Derek Barton. And the inning is over. So the Giants with a couple of base runners stranded 1-0 Oakland.
out, and then on June 23rd in Oakland gave up just 1 earned run and 12 strikeouts. And guys, should be an interesting matchup tonight. Lincecum against Kevin Kuzminoff. Career-wise, Kuzminoff is 12 of 32 against Lincecum.
Yeah, and already with an RBI single against him tonight. So more of the same. As Landon Powell with a quick 2-strike count. That's Raj Mathai, sports director at NBC Bay Area, here with us. And the high fastball. And that's all for Landon Powell.
Just change sight lines off the second strike. Elevator fastball.
K-Zone is back. Tonight is a Giants K-Zone game. And if Lincecum and any other pitchers that might work for the Giants end up with 10 strikeouts or more, you would receive a $10 view reserve seat for his next scheduled start on Wednesday against Baltimore. That's at 12:45 in the afternoon game against the Orioles. Log on to sfgiants.com 30 minutes after the game and enter the coupon code Giants K. And don't tell anybody about it.
It's a code.
0-2 the count now to Eric Patterson.
That's right down the middle, Ray. I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought you were talking K-Zone where they put the box around to show the strike zone.
No, that's the ESPN K-Zone. That's a fair ball. And from a prone position, Posey with the feed to Lincecum. Nice pickup. And then a throw, well, on his backside.
Well, Buster Posey, an old shortstop at Florida State, going to his left, spins on his backside, and flips a strike right to Lincecum. The Giants' defensive coverage of the game is brought to you by Verizon, the network with the most 3G coverage.
So 2 men are gone, and here is Pennington. 1 ball to no strikes. Cliff Pennington, one of 6 Athletics hitters in the lineup tonight, who will bat left-handed against the right-hander. Lincecum with the underhanded feed to Posey, and the inning is over. 3 up, 3 down, 1-0. The Athletics are leading. Molina coming up. Sportsnet California tomorrow night in the 7th inning. An incredible ticket offer will be announced for the 70s night game Saturday, June 26th. That's against the Pirates. Players will be wearing turn back the clock jerseys from the 70s, and 15,000 fans will receive a Joe Rudy jersey from Pepsi. That's tomorrow night at the beginning of the 7th inning. Details on this special offer to be announced on Comcast Sportsnet California. Turn back the clock. You have it every Friday night here, don't you, Brew, with the orange jerseys?
Well, you know, it's pretty much turn back the clock day every day here. Our fan base, very entertaining with what they wear to the ballparks.
Benji Molina against Gio Gonzalez, 1-0. Gonzalez of the Athletics on top. There's what we're talking about there, Ray.
Yeah.
It's just a normal Friday night here.
Just par for the course, our Orange Friday.
We got an Oakland A. They do that too. The green hair, the yellow hair.
No, we're talking campus couple here, Dad.
That will go out of play off to the right.
John, you will enjoy the turn back the clock, the 70s. It's going to be the all gold uniform. worn by the Oakland A's on the 70s night. And the Pirates will wear the
Fort Knox gold.
That's it. It looked like giant canaries.
0-2 the count. They had the wedding gown white, the Fort Knox gold, the Pacific Ocean misty green on the road, with the white shoes that were made of albino kangaroo skin, he said. 1-2 the count to Molina. And it's off the outside.
That's tough to find, isn't it?
Anymore. Better not use it either.
It was a lot easier to say it than actually get it. So they just went ahead and said it. Up the middle. That's a base hit. Pennington was playing him to pull, and Molina hit it back more toward the middle and got himself a single.
Starting to have a few hits drop now. It doesn't take long to find confidence as a hitter. All it takes is a few balls to drop, and all of a sudden you start thinking they're going to drop every time you put the ball in play. Pennington moves over to the shift. It opens up the middle, and Benji Molina gets himself on board.
Well, a lot of that, Kurt, don't you say that a hitter starting his swing a little bit earlier because the count gets in his favor, so he doesn't necessarily hit into the defense. That ball a little bit outside, a little bit harder, and wasn't able to pull it as far as Pennington thought.
Pablo Sandoval, and it's a little bit off the outside for ball one. Sandoval hitting .283. 4 home runs, 23 runs batted in. He has not found his stroke from the right side. Way outside.
You know, generally speaking, though, from what we've seen in the National League, we pretty much see straight-up defense 90% of the time. There just aren't that many guys that can actually pitch into a defense.
Exactly.
I mean, I go back to when the Atlanta Braves were having their heyday run with Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddox, and they would have the most dramatic defensive set simply because they had a pitching staff that could pitch into them and take advantage of it. But there you see, it's pretty much straight-up defense right here. And it's a lot to ask a young pitcher to be able to have consistent command enough that a defense can trust it.
Well, if Landon Powell stays in the outside part of the plate to the right-handed hitters, it's going to be tough for Gio Gonzalez to throw strikes. We've seen it. This 12 previous starts, unless you force him to finish by calling the pitches inside. He did it against Toronto. He did it against Boston. You just have to finish, and the only way to do that is to set up inside the right-handers.
So he's in a tight spot now with Aaron Rowan coming up. Rowan, who hit a home run yesterday, his first in nearly a month. And his next trip to the plate drew a walk, also his first in a month's time. Rowan has been in a terrible slump, but he had a couple of days off. A couple of, I guess you might even call them mental health days, just to clear his mind a little bit, and then hit the first pitch he saw out of the yard in Cincinnati. And a fastball in there, and he goes to the inside there. 0-1.
You see how that makes him finish?
That's the finish you're talking about. Well, that's how you should warm up. You should always warm up on that now. If you're a lefty, on the inside corner to a righty away from a lefty, that's the side of the plate that you have to reach to get to. That's how you get your arm loose.
The curveball, and it drops low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rowan versus Gio Gonzalez. 2 hits in 5 career at-bats. A single and a double. 1-0. The Athletics leading the Giants. 2 men on, nobody out. Fastball, foul. He got in on him on that one, and Rowan cracked his bat.
And Gio Gonzalez fastball is so good. I mentioned the Toronto game when he just blew a fastball by a team that's hit more home runs than anybody this year. But I think just as important, a couple of starts ago against the Red Sox, he had David Ortiz. He thrown 3 curveballs, missed with all 3, and Redback threw 3 fastballs by him. Had no chance. And Big Papi told him the next day, he said, "I can't see your fastball," and just threw it by.
Well, he's gotten a quick 1-2 count to Aaron Rowan with Lincecum, the pitcher, on deck. And a curve, a check swing, and that ball bounced in the dirt. And a new ball will be put in play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I can't tell you what it means for a young pitcher's confidence when an established hitter like Big Papi says something like that, pays a compliment to him. And that's like money in the bank. A hitter has no idea how much that means to a young pitcher.
And he did it behind the batting cage during the Red Sox batting practice, put his arm around his shoulder during BP, and did it.
2-2 the count. To look back at second. Molina the runner there. And that fastball is in too tight. And it's a full count now, 3-2.
That's something that you don't often see.
He had an 18-pitch first inning and has thrown 14 more so far here in the second inning with nobody out. 3-2. A very slow runner at second, Molina. Sandoval at first. The fastball is inside. Another walk, and the bases are loaded. And again, Landon Powell goes out to talk to Gio Gonzalez, and it looks like Kurt Young, the pitching coach, is going to head out as well.
Everybody talking to Gio about hitting for the first time, and he will, leading off the next inning and facing Tim Lincecum. But I thought the biggest problem for Gio was pitching to Lincecum. We saw last year hit very well against the A's during interleague play.
But a reminder that Comcast Sportsnet has complete Giants coverage on Sportsnet Central every night at 10:30 p.m. Comcast Sportsnet, authentic Bay Area sports.
So here's Lincecum. Lincecum with 3 hits in 25 at-bats, 3 runs batted in. And the Athletics middle infield will look for the double play ball here. The curveball in for a strike. And that may be the first strike call on a curveball for Gonzalez in this game.
See how he threw it, just kind of guided it in, not the real hard one, and maybe because it's a pitcher. Fastball.
Ooh, blew it right by him. Lincecum started to swing and said, well, what's the point? It's in the glove.
Those two pitches were unfair. You know, 78 mile an hour curveball that throw 91 by a guy, especially a pitcher who doesn't see a lot of pitches. Not fair.
And he got a piece of that one. High fastball away at 91 miles an hour. Still 0-2 to Lincecum. Andres Torres on deck.
Kirk, how did you pitch to opposing pitchers as far as the intensity level when you face those guys?
When I was young, I would fall victim to it, and a lot of young guys do the same thing even today, is that you just take it for granted he's not going to be a good hitter, and you make location mistakes. And what I learned was, you really had to concentrate on your target and concentrate on finishing off the pitches. It's like you're talking about. I mean, it's once you have in your mind what you want to throw, once you make the commitment to throw it, you have to be 100% behind it, and you have to see your target, keep your eyes on your target, and throw through it. And that takes away all the distraction of a guy who's a pitcher that you think is going to be an easy out. Just concentrates you to the glove, and that's how you get through it.
Andres Torres, bases loaded, 1 out. And the curveball swung on and missed. Well, they threw him that first pitch curve, and Torres apparently wasn't looking fastball. And it's 0-1. The middle infield double play depth. Another curve, and called the ball. Thought it was too high. 1 ball, 1 strike with Molina at third, Sandoval at second, Rowand at first.
Gonzalez wanted that one.
Yep.
And that curveball is definitely too high. 2-1 the count.
Well, if there's every time to throw a good changeup, now's the time, because if you're going to sit fastball, I almost see Torres doing that after missing with a couple of curveballs.
And the fastball came after him with the high hard one, and a foul. 2-2.
Guy fouls it straight back. He's on you. He's looking for something up to get in the outfield deep enough to be able to score Molina. And believe me, it's going to have to be deeper than normal deep. But still, I mean, that's how you set your at-bat up. It's a situation. You're looking for something up.
Curveball. There's a double play ball. Pennington to second one. Ellis to first. In the dirt. Pulled out for the double play. Derek Barton grabbing it out of the dirt with a backhanded grab, and the double play bites the Giants again. 1-0 Athletics.
future focus. We look at the minor leaguers of the Giants, and Joe Martinez actually now here tonight, promoted recall from AAA Fresno, taking the spot of Wellemeyer. In Fresno, pretty sharp, 11 starts with a 5-2 record. Mountain View native Brandon Crawford doing well in Richmond for AA. And then Manny Burress rehabbing in San Jose at Single A in 3 games. He is 3 for 9, so we should see Manny Burress back here soon. Gentlemen.
And so with Wellemeyer on the DL, Martinez is going to be used right now in long relief, but also could make the start on Tuesday that would have been Wellemeyer's. But it all depends on if he gets used or how much he gets used and when he gets used out of the bullpen as to whether he'll be able to make that start or not. This is Gio Gonzalez, and that was Gio Gonzalez.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
Well, probably the best thing for Gio is to swing and miss every time he hits. You have a left-handed pitcher hitting right-handed, exposing that very valuable left arm to the pitcher.
Lincecum hitting left-handed.
I know. So you have 2 guys tonight.
So here's the leadoff man, Mark Ellis. He led off the game with a double down the left field line, but later got thrown out at the plate. The Athletics, despite that, got another runner to third base, and Kuzmanov knocked him in. The A's lead 1-0 here in the third. Lincecum with a fastball, that two-seamer that's too high for ball 1. Ellis was not with the Athletics when the Giants and A's first met 3 weeks ago in Oakland, as Lincecum curves him for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ellis was on the disabled list at that time.
Similar hamstring injury that Rajay Davis has right now, and hope that Rajay could come back a little quicker.
The curveball, and that's inside. 2-1 the count.
John Rajay was looking forward to, of course, playing against the Giants here because he played for the Giants, but also the Pirates, his first team when Pittsburgh visits the Coliseum.
Another curve that's down and away. A big ship is underway out beyond McCovey Cove.
Is that part of the beer can regatta?
I don't think that this one is in the regatta. This looks like some sort of a ship from the Ready Reserve Fleet of the Maritime Administration.
You mean they won't let that one in the beer can regatta?
It looks like one of the ones that's tied up alongside just on the other side of McCovey Cove usually when we're out here. So it may be about to be deployed. A row. You can send it off to anywhere around the world when needed.
Now tune into the NBC Bay Area Morning News Team for early news, traffic, and weather updates weekdays starting at 4:30 a.m.
We'll call you, Ray. Make sure that you don't miss it.
Well, that's a good point because you always want to learn something early, don't you?
Yeah.
But if I don't answer, just watch it without me.
1 out, runner at first. Derek Barton. And the count 1 ball and no strikes.
Now, some of the A's staff, of course, getting all the scouting reports, talked about being able to run with Lincecum pitching. You guys see him regularly. What do you think?
Well, he's cut it down. He's no longer doing the high leg kick 100% of the time. He's developed a little bit of slide step. And he's been under 1.2 seconds. But when he goes full leg up, he goes 140 and above. That last one was 140. Yeah. And, I mean, he can get really slow. But the other thing, too, is he'll absolutely ignore the runner. And a lot of guys who have strikeout stuff, you know, in the past, we used to see Rob Nen do this. Guys would steal him blind. But he said, you know what, the heck with it. I'm going to strike out the guy in the plate. And, you know, they can be stubborn in that regard. But his concentration is such to the hitter that at times he will forget about the runner. He has to improve on it.
Into left center field, hit well. Back is Rowan. Still back. He's under it. He's got it in front of the 404-foot marker. And that is a graveyard for would-be home runs. That little notch out there where the left field wall meets the center field wall.
Great to be back in San Francisco. Giants coming out of Cincinnati, where this ball here would have really, really come close to going out. And the reaction from Tim Lincecum watching Aaron Rowland run it down. Happy to be back home.
Across that water, that other stadium, that's a 2-run home run. The jagged edge in left center. It's gone. But you played at the park, and this is huge. There's no doubt. Ball didn't slice enough away from Rowan. Made a good play getting to it.
Now, the third place hitter, Ryan Sweeney, and the count is 0-1. Sweeney hit into a fielder's choice his first time, but eventually was wild pitch to second and also wild pitch to third, and scored the Oakland run in the first inning. 1-0. The Athletics ahead of the Giants here in the third. And back to the bag is Mark Ellis. Is Ellis running as well as ever since the hamstring problem?
Yes, he does a great job as all the runners now. Something that Mark started last year with Babaleo, the strength and conditioning coach. They come out early before batting practice, before anything, and just run and just basically learn how to run.
Because he has only the one steal.
And I say that because a lot of guys can run, but running the bases. You saw Herb Washington back in the 70s, and he could run straight, but he didn't know how to turn at second to go to third. But these guys are turning the bases very sharply, making the quick turn, and really helping. But he's healthy. He's fine.
And a change up in the dirt, and the count is 2-1. Lincecum looked a little frustrated on that one.
He still doesn't have the feel with that changeup that we've seen him have in the past. Now, in Pittsburgh, his last outing, he had it, but he didn't get it till about the 4th inning. A little bit too low, a little bit too high.
Usually a hitter swing at that pitch just because it comes out of his hand like a fastball. But it just happens to bounce.
2-1 the count to Sweeney. Kuzmanoff would be next. There goes Ellis. Molina's throw, and it's much too late. So Ellis got a great jump and steals his second base of the year.
It's just a real slow delivery, 1.47. I mean, that's the average is 1.25 seconds, and that tells you how much slower it is. And it really probably equates to almost a full step and a half advantage for the runner.
Plus, as you mentioned, he might have not really paid that much attention to him because Mark not only got a great jump, had a big lead.
He was rolling. You can't blame a catcher on that one.
So now base hit could mean a run. And a fastball is too low to Sweeney. It's a full count, 3-2. Sweeney leading the Athletics with a .318 batting average right at the moment. Not hitting for power, only one home run, but he does have 28 runs batted in.
About 70% of his hits go to left field.
And a foul back into the second deck.
Stays on the ball very nicely, and if you make a mistake, John, and you throw an off-speed pitch and happens to stay inside, he might turn on it, hit a home run. He hit a double off the right center field wall yesterday against Erwin Santana.
He came into the game hitting .333 with runners in scoring position this year. There's one out there right now. Ellis at second. Toward the middle. Uribe keeps it in the infield. Up to his feet and throws him out. 1-0 Oakland with Sanchez, Posey, and Uribe coming up. The two-hitter, Freddie Sanchez at the plate with Buster Posey and Juan Uribe to follow against Gio Gonzalez. And some acting there by Sanchez. That ball was right down the middle. Strike one call.
Hey, he looked like a French soccer player.
Right down the middle, almost killed him. Yeah. The curveball is drilled foul down the right field line, and it hops up into the stands. Strike two. Sanchez hit a fly ball to right his first time. 1 run, 2 hits for Oakland. No runs, 2 hits for the Giants. The Giants have had 5 base runners in 2 innings, but have not scored. And the curveball is too low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. They got a walk and a single in the first. And they had the bases loaded with nobody out in the second. And Lincecum coming up and did not score. And that curve in the dirt, he swung at it. And Powell throws him out. Buster Posey coming up, and his first major league home run was a couple of days ago.
Now, first pitch breaking ball from Aaron Harang. The thing that's amazing about this is he's never had an at bat off of Aaron Harang. And this is the first pitch he ever saw, and he hits a first pitch breaking ball and put it in the second deck in Cincinnati. But if you know Aaron Harang, he doesn't have an orthodox breaking ball.
Now Buster Posey and the changeup, 0-1.
It comes out of his hand just like a fastball. They think it's a fastball, and it doesn't have to be a particularly great changeup, just a slight change of speeds.
On the inside corner with that fastball, strike two. Posey hit the first pitch he saw for a pop fly into shallow right that was caught by Sweeney. He's 0 for 1 and quickly behind in the count here. Curveball outside. Posey did a little scouting report himself on Aaron Harang from the video. Watched him face several hitters. That curveball is fouled on the third base side, and he thought he picked up something. Harang had a tendency with a runner at first base, and actually was looking for that breaking ball on the first pitch because he'd seen 10 or 12 video at bats against Harang with a runner at first, and sure enough, that's what he got, and it was a hanger, and he hit it 439 feet. There is Pennington, and that is out number 2.
Well, school is out, summer's here. What better way to kick off summer than to go to a Giants game? Here's an inexpensive way to do it. It's the dynamic deal of the week. You get a view reserved left field ticket for Monday, June 14th and Tuesday, June 15th. And the Giants take on the Orioles for only $6. That's right, $6. Take advantage of the dynamic deal of the week, or to purchase tickets to any Giants game, go to sfgiants.com.
In for a strike to Uribe, who singled his first time. Baltimore is here Monday night, Tuesday night, and then the Wednesday afternoon game. Fastball to the inside corner, strike 2 call.
You're seeing Baltimore's new manager, interim manager, Juan Samuel. Dave Tremblay was let go by the Orioles. Tough start for Baltimore, but let's see Juan Samuel get a chance.
Is tough the word for it if you're 17 and 44? 17 wins, 44 losses right now. They lost tonight in their interleague game to the New York Mets at Camden Yards. 5-1 Mets. And a foul out of play. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Uribe. With Pat Burrell on deck, he would be next. Oakland ahead 1-0. And there's somebody trying to get a free view from out on a mast of a sailboat in McCovey Cove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ahoy there.
Oh, yeah. That's the best seat in the house right there.
That is good. That's good. It's a moving seat.
Ooh, the sharp curveball, a check swing.
That pitch is so great with aggressive hitters, especially if Gio throws it hard as he did the last one. But Uribe is very strong, able to hold up a swing.
And the curve just off the outside, and it's a full count now. 3-2.
Just a little bit outside. And watch Gonzalez kind of bend it, thinking, I thought I had a strike there.
The fastball in, fouled into the crowd behind the Oakland dugout. 3-2.
Watch him throw that big curveball up there. Kind of put you to sleep. I don't see why he would ever go to the outside corner against a right-hander with a fastball.
Changeup. Did he swing? No. First base umpire Bob Davidson very emphatically ruling in favor of Uribe, so he gets the walk. And that's the 4th walk allowed by Gio Gonzalez.
All right, did he go? No.
Oh, yeah. I saw the look on your face. Of course he went. Anytime the bat goes that far forward and crosses a plate,
Ray, not even close.
You know, there's nothing in the rule book that defines whether it's a check swing or not.
Well,
and finally, when somebody brought that up to Major League Baseball, when Sandy Alderson was working with the umpire supervisor, that ball hit by Burrell deep down the left field line, hooking. It is a home run. Pat Burrell hits his first home run as a Giant, and it puts him ahead of the A's.
Well, there's your check swing. Don't get the strikeout. Miss with a changeup. You're trailing 2-1.
Pat Burrell, the Bay Area kid, playing in a Giants uniform at home for the first time. Coming up large for the hometown crowd. That's got to feel good for him. And that's how you make friends in a new city quickly.
268 career home run for Pat Burrell. He hit 2 earlier this year with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now Benji Molina. And a high pop fly. Ellis in shallow right center. And the inning is over. The 2-out walk to Uribe, and then the 2-run homer that wrapped itself around the foul pole from Pat Burrell from the South Bay. 2-1 Giants. Aquarium, where there's something in the water this summer. Get the feeling firsthand when you visit. Find out how you can share the love at MontereyBayAquarium.org/love. How do they do that?
Magic.
I love that when they bring that in here. Stretch it out over the cove like that?
Yeah, it's very cool.
Pat Burrell. So his first home run for the Giants occurs here in his new home ballpark in his 17th at-bat as a Giant. He's had 6 hits, 17 at-bats, including 2 doubles, and now a home run, and 4 runs batted in.
He's hit 3 home runs, 2 against the A's, a curveball off Ben Sheets for a 3-run home run at St. Petersburg.
So he got the A's already for another team this year? Wow. So you guys must be thrilled to see him here now.
But it's a curveball that he took off his left knee and hit it for a 3-run home run. Pretty good swing.
There's a curve, and it is a foul ball. Molina, or rather a sound ball with the 1-hop throw to first.
Watch the swing of the bat from Pat Burrell, getting a fastball out of the play at the belt, getting extended. What do the big guys like? They like to get their arms extended. That's where their power is. When he hit this thing, it was just a matter of whether or not it was going to hook, fair or foul. Just inside the pole. Welcome to San Francisco, Mr. Burrell.
Past the 339 marker.
I think he stripped the hand of Bob Davidson rounding first base.
Well, I think Bob did extend the inning a little bit there.
Well, if Bob had ruled that a swing and the check swing by Uribe instead of a walk, the inning would have been over. And then Burrell planted that one in the stands down the left field line. Now, when Sandy Alderson was in charge of the umpires, because there was nothing in the rule book that said, well, here's how you determine whether it's a check swing or not, as Kevin Kuzminoff is retired, one away.
Well, that last pitch was our Rambus radar gun speed pitch at 92, right there, right down the middle of the plate. Rambus at the heart of the products you love. 92 mile an hour T-ball fastball.
You can say 92 is fine, but don't say it's down the middle of the plate.
Oh, that was right there. Right? Come on.
So here is Gabe Gross, and that's up and away for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. 2-1. The Giants are leading here in the 4th inning. But what the determination was, Sandy Alderson announced that the umpires, in determining whether it's a swing or a check swing, were to determine, did he attempt to strike the ball? We thought about that for a little bit and said, well, that clears up absolutely nothing. Thank you very much, Sandy.
It doesn't. I mean, that's as vague could possibly be.
Did he attempt to strike the ball? At what point? He started to attempt to, and then he stopped.
Isn't the intention always to strike the ball?
At the beginning, until you say, wait a minute, that's going to bounce. I'm not going to swing. So I think they at least they came up with something to say, and then the umpires just went back to doing what they've been doing all along. That one hit the mound. It may have slowed it up. Uribe throws him out.
That's another break right there. That ball hit right off the mound and just died. That ball was hit well. And Uribe, one of those guys that if he gets a chance to get off a throw, he's got such a strong arm. He can make up for a lot of things. Here, the ball just sort of comes up to him after it hits the mound. Sunday hop. See you later.
So 2 down as Gross is retired. Here's Landon Powell, the catcher who struck out his first time. Kurt Suzuki on bereavement leave for the weekend, and we send our prayers and best wishes to Kurt, who's become one of the brightest young catchers in Major League Baseball. And his paternal grandfather passed away, so he is with his family in the islands, and we'll, I guess, be back next week.
No, actually, he'll be back tomorrow, but the bereavement is 3 days, 3 games. So he will be back late. He'll take the red eye back on tomorrow, I think. But from what he said, he will not be allowed to play Sunday. I didn't know there was a certain amount of time, but he will be back at least by Chicago, Wrigley Field.
So that's where you guys go next?
Yes, Wrigley and then St. Louis.
1-2 the count. And that's all for Landon Powell. Winston with his 4th strikeout of the night. 2-1 Giants. Sandoval coming up. barehanded by Ellis, and he throws him out. What a play by Mark Ellis.
John, you saw so many years Dick Green playing at second base for the A's back in the championship years. They came from the same area. And what a great play by Mark Ellis. Hope Gio did not hurt himself. He's getting some extra time. But Mark just very calmly barehand the ball and threw out. They run a Santa ball by a couple of steps. Fortunately, Gio, I don't know if he got a glove on it. Might have slowed it down a little bit. Yeah,
I think he did. I think he just got the little edge of the glove on it. Might have made it that much tougher for Mark Ellis. One away, and here is Aaron Rowand, who walked his first time. It's that time of the evening now where the setting sun is reflecting off the picture windows over in the Oakland and Berkeley Hills. From where we sit here at AT&T Park, that's out beyond the left field bleachers across the bay. And that's not the way it looks to us. That's with the camera in close. They just look like bright points of light out there, almost like diamonds shining in the East Bay Hills.
Yeah, I love this time of night. Or campfires. A lot of cavemen up there in those hills.
A weenie roast up in the Berkeley Hills, yeah.
That would go over well.
I'll bring the marshmallows. 2-1 to Rowan. Tim Lincecum is on deck. Tomorrow a 6:05 start with Barry Zito up against Ben Sheets, and then a 1:05 game on Sunday. Matt Cain and Vin Mazzaro. Strike on the inside with that fastball. And that, as you said from the very get-go, Ray, when he needs a strike with that fastball, that's been his spot. 2-2 the count. The curveball and a foul.
I think as Gio throws so well with his fastball, the velocity is there that you can almost tell the hitter, I'm going to throw inside. Hitters don't like to get jammed anyway. They like to extend their arms. So a good fastball inside from a lefty to a right is going to eat him up anyway.
He's got no hit stuff, no question. He's got 3 good pitches. That changeup is all the difference in the world for this guy. And his changeup and fastball combination are so good that he doesn't even need that curveball. And he could win.
2-2. And the curve for the strikeout. 2 down. Let's go down to NBC Bay Area Sports Director Raj Mathai.
John, thank you. Pat Burrell, the 2-run homer here. This is really an emotional time for him. Pat Burrell, born and raised in the Bay Area, went to Bellarmine Prep down in San Jose, said he grew up a Giants fan. In fact, a 2-sport star at Bellarmine. In football, he competed against Tom Brady at rival Sarah High School. And more important for Pat Burrell, he says, you know what, I have no illusions coming here to the Giants, cut by the Rays last month. He says, to salvage my baseball career, this is it. This is my best and maybe my last shot in the big leagues.
Well, he's been a great addition to the clubhouse and to the field. A good shot in the arm offensively.
Standing between Buster Posey and in the background with a sweatshirt, Aubrey Huff. And Lincecum swinging and missing at the high fastball. 1-2. And he's in the lineup tonight rather than Aubrey Huff, with the left-hander Gio Gonzalez going. And he had a couple of days in Cincinnati where he was in there rather than Aaron Rowand. And Bruce Bochy, basically, he just likes the way he's swinging the bat right now. And he keeps swinging it well and keeps justifying his presence in the order. Burrell, a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning tonight. 2-1 Giants. And a foul into the sea of orange on this Orange Friday off the left field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, the player's designated for assignment, as Burrell was, means the Rays pick up his contract, the remainder of his contract, with the exception of the prorated minimum salary that the Giants are paying him. So, I mean, he can pick where he wants to go, and a good right-handed bat. And why not come back to where he grew up?
Well, he lives down in San Francisco, he and his wife.
Strike 3 called, a fastball to the outside, and the inning is over. 4th strikeout for Gonzalez. 2-1 Giants. Out of McCovey Cove from the ballpark. Over 20 carnival rides, midway games, music, and fair food. General admission is absolutely free. You can also purchase a combo ticket that includes unlimited rides at the fair and a Giants game ticket. For more information, including a complete schedule, go to sfgiants.com/fair as the ball is fouled out of play by Eric Patterson. Tonight it's open until 11 o'clock. And tomorrow it'll open up at 8 o'clock in the morning and until 11 p.m. 10 o'clock Sunday morning until 9 p.m. And then Monday and Tuesday from 3 in the afternoon until 11 p.m. So bring the kids and enjoy the Giants County Fair. I'm John Miller with Ray Fossey and Mike Krukow. Giants baseball from San Francisco, interleague play, and that curveball from Linscomb. And not many curveballs have been called strikes for anybody tonight by Tim Cheetah.
Very tight zone tonight for the veteran umpire.
And a foul off the left field line by Patterson, who grounded out to first his first time. A beautiful play was turned in by Buster Posey. The ball was hit right along the line, and he made a dive for it, got the ball, and then fell over backwards, and from his backside made the throw to Linscomb covering for the putout. A kind of play you don't see every day. Pennington on deck, and the changeup strikes him out, and that's the fifth strikeout.
Got a feel of that changeup last inning, John, and it's really been the payoff pitch. Now 3 strikeouts of the last 4 hitters, and the payoff pitch has all been the same. Changeup, and that's exactly where he wants to throw. That's where it's most effective.
And it's good enough that hitters can look for it and still can't hit it because it looks so much like the fastball coming out of his hand.
Cliff Pennington. And he got the call on that high curveball, and it's 0-1. Pennington hit one back to Linscomb his first time. Interleague play all across the land is the order of the day in Major League Baseball. That changeup to Uribe. And 2 men are gone. And here's the Giants baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of the Thirst Inning. The Thirst Inning, Mike.
I like the Thirst Inning.
And the crowd, as seen through the Thirst Inning fan cam, Giants fans and A's fans with an uneasy truce when they're side by side. Gio Gonzalez with a count of 0-1. Budweiser, it's what they do. Gonzalez struck out his first time and hits it hard to Posey. Linscomb covering, but Buster said, I'll take it. And that's the inning. 8 in a row retired by Linscomb. 2-1 Giants. Top of the order coming up. To you by your Northern California Honda dealers, who invite you to come in today for special zero-down lease offers on new 2010 models. The Yankees beat the Astros at the Yankee Stadium. Back of Andy Pettitte, he's 8-1. Mariano Rivera got the save. The Mets beat the Baltimore Orioles at Camden Yards 5-1. Back of knuckleballer R.A. Dickey. Chris Carter, a home run for the Mets. The Tigers over the Pirates. The Indians beat the Washington Nationals And in the All-Florida, the Marlins clobbered the Rays 14-9 in St. Pete. And the Red Sox just pounded the Phillies 12-2 at Fenway Park. John Lackey over Jamie Moyer. A 5-run first inning against Moyer, who has never had success there. And it was even worse, I guess, tonight. They had 5 in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third. Boston was ahead 12-0 after 3. Ooh.
That's a rough night.
That is a rough night. The Twins beat Atlanta 2-1 at the new ballpark in Minnesota. Center fielder Gross, and he's got this one off the bat of Andres Torres. In National League parks now. This afternoon at Wrigley, the White Sox over the Cubs 10-5. They hit 3 home runs in that game. The Royals beat the Reds in Cincinnati. The Brewers over the Texas Rangers at Miller Park. The Rockies lead the Blue Jays. They had a long rain delay there in Colorado. They're underway now, 2-1, top of the third. Colorado. That's Ubaldo Jimenez, who's 11-1. The Cardinals in the only National League game lead Arizona. Last of the 6th in the desert. And that's a ball inside. The Dodgers won. The Angels won. Top of the 5th in L.A. The Padres lead the Mariners 2-0. Top of the 5th in San Diego. And that's through for a base hit for Freddie Sanchez. Sanchez's first hit of the night. He is now 1 for 3 against Gonzalez.
And the last time you saw Freddie Sanchez, Ray, he really was struggling with his strike zone. And once he started to get his zone honed in, you saw the average start to jump up, get better pitches to hit. He put on a show in Pittsburgh when he went back home, playing in front of the Pirates fans for the first time as an opponent.
Got a nice setup, a quick swing. Pretty good fastball from Gio that he got through and pulled in the left field.
And that's one accolade you can't fake. When you win a batting title, I mean, you can't fake that. You can hit.
Buster Posey 0 for 2 against Gio Gonzalez. His fly to shallow right, grounded to short. Started him with a changeup and a fastball, fouled out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike to Posey. The wind is blowing straight out towards San Francisco Bay, straight out towards center field at the moment. Giants ahead 2-1 on Pat Burrell's 2-run homer in the third. The Athletics scored first against Lincecum on an RBI single by Kuzminoff in the first. High with a fastball, and it's 2-1. Uribe, the cleanup hitter tonight, on deck. A reworked Giants batting order for this game with Posey in the 3rd spot. Uribe cleanup, Burrell 5th. Sandoval down in the 7th spot in the order. And there is Burrell in the hole. Fastball on the inside corner. Strike 2 called.
Gio Gonzalez had 87 pitches his last start 5 days ago. 117 in 7 innings against the Minnesota Twins. So I would think that his time on the mound tonight is going to be a little bit short.
Curveball. That's a double play ball. Pennington to second one. Ellis to first. A double play. And that is the second double play hit into by the Giants. Top of the order coming up against Lincecum. Here come the A's into the 6th inning in a 2-1 ball game. The Giants out in front. Lincecum misses high with ball 1. The last Athletics hitter to reach base against him was Mark Ellis, who walked with 1 out in the 3rd. Lincecum has retired everybody since. And a fastball in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ellis has hit a double leading off the game down the left field line, and he has walked and stolen a base. And the changeup. 1-2 the count.
Well, this start is going pretty much the same way it went in Pittsburgh, where he got his changeup in the 4th inning, and all of a sudden things started to calm down. His curveball was right behind it. His fastball, knee-high command right behind it.
That fastball to Sanchez. 1 away.
Well, our friends at Sports Vision have come up with a new way to watch and design a play. Ray, talk about Benji Molina's blocking of the plate.
Well, look at his left foot. He could put the left foot on the plate. He's got it out in front, position himself more on the plate with the left foot, so you know where the plate is, where the runner's coming. He had to move his foot as Mark Ellis was coming in. And that's why Mark had slid to the side and then faded away, as John described, and then went back and touched the plate. But that's the time, and a catcher, especially as big as Benji, put the body on the plate. Don't even give it, or give him a back quarter of it. If you're that big, don't even give him a chance to get to it.
Derek Barton, the hitter, he has had a sacrifice bunt and has flied out toward that 404 marker in deep left center. It went a long way. That ended up in the glove of Aaron Rowan. So he is 0 for 1 officially. 1 out, nobody on in the 6th. 2-1, the Giants ahead. And the changeup. And Lincecum with his 6th strikeout.
Well, the Battle of the Bay continues throughout the weekend. Tomorrow will be Giants Aluminum Sport Bottle presented by Coca-Cola in the Ronald McDonald House. And Sunday will be Lucy Bobblehead Day presented by AT&T. To purchase tickets, go to sfgiants.com. And remember, dynamic pricing, buy early, and you can save large amounts of money.
And a curveball in there for a strike to Ryan Sweeney, who hit into a fielder's choice in the 1st, but eventually scored the open run. And then grounded a short in the 3rd. A great play made by Uribe to get it. And he had some bad luck, too. He hit a ball right back up the middle, and he hit the mound and took a big hop. It may have helped Uribe get to the ball behind second. There's Sanchez. And a very quick inning for Lincecum. 10 pitches and out. And he has retired 11 in a row. Uribe, then Burrell. Two Athletics, 1. Gio Gonzalez. A fastball is too low to Juan Uribe. Uribe hitting cleanup for the Giants. Has singled and walked and scored a run. And a foul out of play. A ball and a strike. The Giants, with 2 down in the 3rd inning, got the walk from Uribe. on a contested check swing on a 3-2 pitch. It went in Uribe's favor, the ruling. So he got the walk to keep the inning alive, and then Pat Burrell slammed a screamer down the left field line that wrapped itself around the foul pole. And I'm out of here with plenty to spare. 2-1 Giants. Ooh, just off the inside, and the count is 3-1.
Brad Ziegler starting to throw for the A's in the bullpen as Gio Gonzalez gets over 90 pitches. Wow.
3-1 the count. And that fastball is in there. Full count. This may be the most pitches we've seen Uribe see in consecutive at bats. 3-2 both times. Over the mound, over the middle, base hit. And he reaches for the third time. He takes the big turn as Gross gets it back in, and Pat Burrell is coming up.
Well, back in the third inning, this was the big swing of the bat for the Giants, and it's going to be our hit of the game brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Visit CacheCreek.com for upcoming events. And with that swing of the bat, the Giants took a 1-run lead, and Pat Burrell introduced himself to the Giants fan base here. Keep doing that, you'll win a lot of friends.
Uribe at first, Barton on the bag with him, and it's ball one from Gio Gonzalez. Gonzalez had not been giving up many home runs. He had allowed only 4 home runs in 75+ innings this year. And that's a ball down and in until Burrell got him. 2-0.
Well, they gave up a big one to Adrian Beltre in Boston. Had a 4-0 lead, trying to get him through 5 innings, and then the bottom of the 5th, threw 108 pitches in 5 innings, and a 3-run home run pulled the Red Sox to within 1.
Shallow right, Ellis, and Burrell is gone. He's 1 for 3.
Well, for comprehensive coverage of everything orange and black, check out Pregame Live and Postgame Live before and after every Giants telecast on Comcast Sportsnet, Authentic Bay Area Sports. John, that's comprehensive coverage.
Not comprehensive, sir? You had me at comprehensive. I was like, yeah, I'm in. What time is that? I don't believe I've ever seen a show like that. As Molina fouls one out of play, Benji has singled and popped up to second.
Now, Ray, we have a list of words that we do not say if it gets below 55 degrees. We brought it over from Candlestick, which, that was pretty much every night.
Comprehensive is one, right?
Yeah, comprehensive is one of them.
I think tonight is actually probably a little too warm to say that word. We
so just eliminate it completely.
Need a new rule here. And the high fastball is fouled out of play. Pat Burrell, by the way, hitting home runs. He's had 4 different seasons with 30 or more home runs, as many as 37 while he was with the Phillies. As recently as 2 years ago, his last year in Philadelphia, he hit 33 homers with 86 batted in. 2 years, over 100 RBIs. And Benji fouls that curveball and hops into the stands. And he's had 3 other years with 89 or more RBIs, 97, 95. So he's been a home run and RBI man going back to the old Veteran Stadium, the Vet in Philly, moving into the new ballpark. Talking there with Aubrey Huff. That curve is drilled foul. Benji, that ball might have hit the ground if Benji hadn't hit it.
That's his happy zone.
When you see a catch go down and block a ball in the dirt, and the guy swings and hits it, Vladimir Guerrero, of course, does that all the time.
All right, how low could you go, Benji? I mean, that's about 8 inches off the ground.
He got it out in front of the plate. If he swings and misses, the ball hits the plate, maybe bounces beyond the plate somewhere.
That fastball. That is just foul. It's a foul ball. The third base umpire, Tim Timmons, right there. The fans aren't buying it.
All right, how foul was it? Yeah, definitely foul ball. 6 inches.
Yeah, they're complaining because Kuzmanov had the ball hit off his glove.
Well, if that ball had been fair, it would have hit the bag.
Exactly.
And Kuzmanov might not have had a prayer. Don't tell him where it might have gone had it hit the bag, and it would have been a fair ball. And Benji fouls that one off. He's fouling him off in the dirt, fouling him off up in his eyes.
That's ball 6.
He's given Gonzalez a battle here, and Gonzalez now is up to 103 pitches for the game, including 6 to Molina, each one of which he has fouled.
Ball 6, 0-2.
Just a little bit high. 1-2.
But, pitching against guys like this are so tough because, you think you're throwing a pitcher strike at a 1-2 or an 0-2 count, and the guy rakes it. It 4 inches out the plate, 6 inches away.
That ball is hit deep to left field. That ball is a home run. Adios, pelota, Benji Molina. And that is the first in a long, long time. His 3rd home run of the year on the 8th pitch of the battle with Gio Gonzalez. And it is 4-1 Giants.
Well, he showed signs of coming out of a slump in Cincinnati when he had a couple of opposite field hits. Here, really a great at bat. An 8-pitch at bat, and on the 8th pitch in a 1-2 count, a location mistake from Gio Gonzalez, and that's going to be the last pitch he throws. And for Benji Molina, that's got to feel pretty good.
Acting manager Ty Waller out to take the ball from Gio Gonzalez. A couple of 2-run homers, and he leaves trailing 4-1. His first home run since May the 1st when he hit one against the Colorado Rockies 99 at bats ago. So Benji, and he worked to get that pitch. It was the 8th pitch he saw from Gio Gonzalez as Brad Ziegler is in to pitch now, his 30th appearance of the year. Submariner facing Sandoval, and in left field there is Patterson. And Pablo is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Benji finally swung at a strike. He got a strike. The fastball, as Coop mentioned, in mislocation to Gio. And the pattern, sure, Gio had to throw strikes by pitching inside. But I think some of the right-handers started looking inside a little bit more and opening up. And once that happens, that supposedly inside pitch becomes almost center cut because of the way they do open.
Aaron Rowan has walked and struck out, and the underhands that one in there for a called strike.
Brad Ziegler likes to throw the two-seam. There's a submarine with a fastball down and in where catcher's setting up, tries to get the location there with a ground ball hit the left side from the right-handers.
That's the pitch he wants you to swing at.
Exactly.
Hit from the right side.
And throw the frisbee slider, try to get you chase one away.
And that little frisbee is in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes with Lincecum on deck. 4-1 Giants. Benji Molina hitting one out of the yard. The only pitch of the 8th that he saw that was in the strike zone, I believe. And that slider is off the outside. 2-2.
You could say it took him 7 to finally get loose. And once he did get the good fastball, he didn't miss it.
A little bit high, and it's 3-2 now. Well, Benji, 99 at bats without a home run. Last year he had 20 home runs. First time he'd reached 20 as a big leaguer. And that will go foul off the right field line. And Benji got off to such a fine start this year. In the month of April, he hit .344. And he hit that home run on May the 1st. And then everything just disappeared right after that. RBIs, hits, everything. And Rowan pulls one foul. 3-2. The Angels lead the Dodgers, meanwhile, 4-1 in L.A. in the top of the 6th inning.
Angels are playing very good baseball.
That is foul. The Angels lost their number 1 home run hitter, Kendry Morales, right after he'd hit a grand slam to end the game. And he broke his leg in the celebration at home plate. One of the most bizarre and kind of heartbreaking injuries you'll ever see. To have it happen in such a freakish way. He's out for the rest of the year. And almost immediately, the next day, that's when they got hot.
I think Mike Scioscia loves adversity because they seem to play their best when something goes wrong.
3-2. And he struck him out on ball 4. But Benji Molina, with his 3rd home run of the year, a 2-run shot. Bye-bye, baby, as Russ Hodges used to say. 4-1 Giants.
For Bevmo's Who's Hot, and the Bevmo 5-cent wine sale is on. Buy one wine, get the second one for just 5 cents on select wines at Bevmo. Tonight, Tim Lincecum, he's hot. He's retired the last 11 batters, 4 by way of the strikeout.
There's ball 1 to Kevin Kuzminoff, leading it off for the Athletics here in the 7th inning. He has singled in the first run of the night. That was a clutch 2-out RBI single in the first inning. Struck out looking his next time, and the big curve is too high. And it's 2-0. The last base runner for the Athletics, Mark Ellis, who drew a 1-out walk in the 3rd inning. Lincecum has retired everybody since. Fastball fouled off to the right and back into the second deck. 2-1 the count. Kuzminoff followed by the left-handed batting Gross and then the switch hitting Powell.
And Lincecum with 11 ground ball outs. And of course, the changeup that's working effectively gets strikeouts, and the hitter sitting back, not getting through with a fastball, hitting weak ground balls.
And the curve is inside, or whatever it was. 3-1. Padres are now trailing the Seattle Mariners. Milton Bradley with a big home run. And that's a base hit to the gap in left center. Rowan cuts it off. And Kuzminoff is the first Oakland base runner since the 3rd. The first Oakland hit since Kuzminoff singled in the 1st. Let's go down to NBC Bay Area sports director now, Raj Mathai. Raj?
John, thank you. A big week around Major League Baseball because the draft a few days ago, and a big week in the Bochy and Guerin households. Brett Bochy picked in the 20th round by the Giants. That's Bruce's son. And Bobby Guerin picked in the 36th round by the A's. And that's not all. There were 5 managers in baseball whose sons were drafted. Ozzie Guillen, Jim Tracy, and Jim Leland. Got to be some sort of record here.
One hop to Posey. The second one. Uribe back to first. Kenya double play. Posey handling the 3-6-3 with some polish.
Well, that was one of the things that Posey was concerned about. You got to play at first base. You don't get a lot of throwing plays because he loves to throw. Here, nice footwork, squares himself up to his target. And then a perfect 3-6-3 combination. Footwork is such a key to every position. You see just a nice relaxed lower body, gets in position to his target.
Well, it's the same as catching. He did exactly what you're supposed to do, to turn, to get the throw and the 4-seam grip, which a catcher always uses, and a perfect throw to second.
Ray, you caught for 11 years in the major leagues. You were in all-star games. You had a great career. Did you ever play another position in the big league game?
Didn't want to.
Lincecum. And it might not have mattered, even with Landon Powell running, swinging bunt, and a 65-foot base hit. Giants, by the way, have reworked the outfield with Andres Torres moving over to left field and Nate Sherholtz taking over in right field. Pat Burrell has retired for the evening. Giants go with a 4-1 lead here as we start the late innings. They go with the better defense in the outfield. So it's now Torres in left, Rowand in center, and Sherholtz in right. Powell at first after the infield hit. Here is Patterson. Powell take anything there. Just, right. He hadn't made contact yet. He had struck out 2 straight times. Patterson has grounded out to first and may feel like he got robbed by Posey, and he struck out his last time. And the count goes to 2-0. Pitch number 88 for Tim Lincecum.
John, I did play first base. I was in Cleveland. Frank Robinson was there. You remember Frank. And I caught a game Friday night. We're walking up the tunnel, old Cleveland Stadium. He said, take a half a day off tomorrow. You're playing first. Day game after night game, and after catching, I was up at 9. I was at the park at 9 o'clock taking ground balls. I was so tired by the time the game started, but I'd never played there. So I wanted to take ground balls, try to do as much as I could before the game. But it wore me out. That's why I'd just rather stay behind the plate.
And there's a called strike 2 to Patterson. So did you field everything flawlessly?
Of course.
Yeah?
From what I remember.
Maybe you scooped out some low throws and started some 3-6-3s.
I insisted they throw everything chest high.
2-2 the count. And he struck him out with a changeup. Molina throws him out. Strikeout number 7 for Lincecum. 4-1 Giants. To you by Carl's Jr. Get into summer with the Hawaiian teriyaki chicken sandwich with grilled pineapple and teriyaki sauce.
I want to get that.
At Carl's Jr. 4 runs, 6 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 4 hits for Oakland. Kuzminoff, a couple of hits against Lincecum and an RBI. And Lincecum, 7 innings. 1 run, 4 hits allowed. 7 strikeouts with a walk. Pat Burrell and Benji Molina with a pair of 2-run homers, accounting for all of the Giants' offense against Gio Gonzalez. And yeah, okay, we figured that. She came for Lincecum.
Oh, yeah. He likes the crazy hair.
It is Crazy Orange Hair Night. Well, I forget what the official title for the hair that was given out tonight.
I think that's an appropriate term.
The Orange Rally Hair. Here is Tyson Ross in to pitch for the Athletics. Lincecum to Kuzminoff. And there is one away. Lincecum had struck out looking in consecutive at-bats. Tyson Ross replaces Brad Ziegler, who got the final 2 outs in the 6th inning through 11 pitches. Had 1 strikeout while he was in there.
What a great story for Tyson Ross. Grew up in the Bay Area and went to Berkeley. And, of course, the field out on 66th, down on the corner, used to play baseball there. Now he's about a half mile away playing at the Coliseum. Made the team out of spring training. Has made a couple of starts. One in the emergency start when Justin Duxer didn't even take the mound at Anaheim, and Tyson Ross was thrown in, made the start there, pitched well, and then the start the next week, but he's been out of the bullpen and a very good live fastball and slider.
He was out of Bishop O'Dowd High School. He was a Dragon. Graduated in 2005. Then went to Cal. It was all Pac-10 in both 2007 and 2008.
Now, I can see why the A's like him. He's got sink. But, you know, you get a guy like that, he is invaluable to a staff. A guy who can pitch in an existing inning, come in, get you a ground ball, get out of an inning. He could pick a ball up and go through the lineup, give you 3 innings if a starter gets knocked out early. Or, like you say, he can spot start you, give you, 80 to 100 pitches.
Just below the knees, apparently. Ball 4 to Andres Torres, the second time that he has walked. Been on base twice with those 2 walks and is 0 for 2.
All right, time now for our scenic shot of the game. It's brought to you by Fry's. Your best buys are always at Fry's, guaranteed.
From Fort Cronkite.
From Fort Cronkite.
The quintessential view.
Is that the comprehensive view?
No, the quintessential. It's not that comprehensive, really. There goes the runner. Sanchez down the right field line. That is a fair ball into the number 1 archway. Torres to third, and he'll stop there as Sweeney played the ball well and hit the relay man, Mark Ellis. A double for Freddie Sanchez, his second straight hit.
Well, I'd have to wonder what Sanchez or Torres was doing. I figured he was going to score as it was a hit and run. A swing by Sanchez, but for some reason he started shutting it down towards third base to Torres.
Well, Torres thought, I think, that the ball was going to get caught. Right about here, he turns around. I think he has a chance that this ball is going to get caught. You can watch his path here. He picks up the ball here, and now he stops. And that prevented a score. But excellent hitting, opposite field hitting from Freddie Sanchez, which he does so well.
As a base runner, though, you have to realize that ball's slicing away. An inside-out swing by Sanchez, and you got to be a little more aggressive.
Here's Buster Posey. Runners at second and third with the infield in. Buster has gone hitless. 0 for 3 against Gio Gonzalez. Now he's got that runner at third, less than 2 down, trying to pick up an RBI. Ross in the dirt to the backstop. The carom, and Landon Powell fumbles it. Torres scores after all, and it is 5-1 Giants. Sanchez the third.
But again, we've seen some fastballs today bouncing out there in front of home plate or wide. Guys just not having a chance to get. But as a third baseman, you have to a runner at third base. You have to anticipate this. You have a short backstop here at AT&T, and a lot of those balls come back.
That one almost came back far enough. If Tyson Ross had covered the plate a little quicker, and Landon Powell would have picked it up. He might have been as surprised as anyone.
That's a strike, but it's true. As he got to the ball, he fumbled it, but had he fielded it cleanly, Ross was not at the plate yet.
Exactly.
2-1 to Posey with a runner at third. The slider. And it's 3-1.
You watch the path of Tyson Ross. You know, there's a little bit of a hesitation. He's back checking his stride step where he stumbled a bit and really never got to home plate. It became a foot race between Ross and Andres Torres. No chance for Ross that way.
And the high fastball popped up foul. Powell comes back, but it's well into the lower deck. 3-2 the count. Well, Kurt Suzuki is not here, but there aren't many better ball blockers than Kurt Suzuki.
Oh, he's done an outstanding job. And just complete package for Suzuki. Gives a lot of confidence in his pitchers. To Brett Anderson went all season last year without one wild pitch. The whole year. So that's how great not only Kurt, but Landon Powell, when he did catch that hard breaking ball, they kept blocking.
3-2. And a slow chop. That is foul. Kuzmanov grabbed it, but in foul territory. Still 3-2. So it wasn't just that Brett Anderson. I thought when I saw no wild pitches that he just never threw one in the dirt. So you're saying he threw a couple in the dirt?
He threw a lot in the dirt, especially that hard curve and slider down and into the right-handers.
Well, pitchers have to love a guy that blocks balls well and saves all those wild pitches, saves bases.
You don't even think about a guy on third base with a good ball blocker.
Well, you just said it earlier when Lincecum had a couple of wild pitches. You start thinking about it as a pitcher. You try to elevate just because you are throwing wild pitches. You don't want to throw one with the runner at third.
3-2 the count. Infield in all the way around. And that ball is hit well. Out toward Death Valley, deep right center field. That ball is up and over the wall. No, it hit the top of the wall. I beg your pardon. He's still going. The run has scored. It's a triple for Posey. It stayed in the yard, and Posey got the extra base, running hard all the way. He got the RBI and the triple.
We have seen his approach since he showed up on the doorstep of the big leagues, and it has been the same. It has been a gap-to-gap approach. You pitch him on one side of the plate, and he'll follow the location. And here he finds right center field, back spins the ball, and the ball just keeps going. Not many balls keep this ball in the ballpark. And the reaction from the bench. Fired up. Posey has been sensational.
I wonder if players, in this case Posey, goes back and makes a little note. Home run, any other park in baseball.
They all do. They all make a mental note. You know that.
Because that ball was crushed to right center. That's a home run anywhere.
Anywhere but here in San Diego.
Well, I was thinking Boston in the triangle in right center, but I think that would have been more towards the center field area. 421. Is that 21? Wow, that's a long way out there.
Here is Uribe. The infield stays in. The slider for ball one.
You know, Aaron Rowan says, it's not so much that you hit balls that don't go out and you don't get the home run, but you don't get a hit either.
Exactly.
Guys catch him because that's what demoralizes you.
He chased the slider this time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Uribe's had 2 singles and a walk. He scored 2 runs. Now he's in an RBI situation. The Giants with 2 runs in against Tyson Ross and a 6-1 lead. Buster Posey with his first major league triple. Shallow center. Gross. Posey tagging, and he bluffs down the line. 1 hop. It hit the corner of the mound, and still 1 hop to the catcher Landon Powell. Posey gave it a pretty good bluff, though. He came down the line until the guy released the ball. I like that.
You got to make that guy make a hard throw, and the only way you can do that as a runner is you got to sell it like you really are sincerely breaking towards the plate.
Look at him, he's still breathing hard. I don't know that he could have scored.
Hey, we watched Aubrey Huff score on an inside the park home run earlier this year, and if he can do it, it can be done.
Here now is Nate Scherholtz, and that is in there for a called strike.
But big yards, this isn't anything new. Historically, the Polo Grounds, John, where would that fly ball Posey's been in regards to the Polo Grounds in center field?
Well, that's toward the center field bleachers and at the Polo Grounds, which were About 460 plus feet away from home plate. Dead center at the Polo Grounds was 483 feet. And it would have been as if that hitter's backdrop in this park were in play. That's what the Polo Grounds was like. And Willie Mays made the greatest catch in World Series history in the 1954 World Series with his back to the infield in front of those center field bleachers to a similar spot where Posey just hit that ball. Maybe 450, 455 feet from home plate. And then with a runner at second at the time, he wheeled around, and what Willie wants to talk about, he says, I made catches like that. And that's it for Sherholtz, and that's the inning. Was keeping that runner from tagging and going home.
That's right.
He threw the ball all the way to the plate on the fly.
Posey and his bat. It also should be noted his glove, our Lexus Pursuing Perfection defensive plays of the night, getting Mark Ellis at home in the first inning, and the second inning from his rear end, making that play along with Tim Lincecum, and then turning to Buster Posey, our Lexus Pursuing Perfection plays of the night. And also now Buster Posey has hit safely in 12 of his 13 big league games this season. Gentlemen.
Here is Tim Lincecum. Thanks, Raj. Raj Mathai, NBC Bay Area Sports Director. Cliff Pennington taking a strike. Buster Posey overall with 21 hits and 49 at-bats. That's out into right center. Sherholtz on the run. Dives, no. Rowan will have to track it down on the warning track. Pennington around second, digging for third. Sanchez will hang on to the relay throw, or the would-be relay throw. It's a triple for Pennington in that part of the yard. It's hard not to get a triple.
A good effort by Sherholtz, but once it got past him, Rowan couldn't back him up quickly enough. And there's your triples out. You guys, you'd love to play here.
And you know who had the very first triple here ever? Doug Mirabelli.
Oh, wow.
He had none speed. None speed, Mirabelli.
Well, he and Benji could have had an interesting race, I think.
Absolutely could have.
And then, less than a month later, he hit another one. To the same spot. He hit two.
Did he need oxygen at third?
This is Jack Cust pinch hitting. Torres. And he can't get there. The fans got it.
Nice play. Had him played perfectly.
Well, slicing right into his glove. Wasn't Bartman down there, was it?
No.
Okay. Those are the Bartman seats.
Those are the Bartman seats.
And if you're sitting in those seats, they should make you look at a video of the Bartman play.
As long as you don't lean over that wall. Anything that comes in, you can catch, but stay back.
It's legal, but if your guy is there, it's still wise to let him lean in and try to catch it. That's a called strike 2. It's 0-2 to Jack Cust. Cust hitting .274, 2 homers, 9 batted in. Big power hitter. It's a lot of walks, but also strikes out a lot. And when he hits them, they go a long way.
He's going to change up to right field over the bullpen at Fenway Park, then a fastball to left field at the Coliseum.
That change up. Posey, but Lincecum broke late. He is safe, and it's a hit and an RBI. Lincecum was a spectator for a little too long on that one.
That's exactly what happened. He froze. I mean, you got to break the instant that ball comes off the bat. There's just a little bit of hesitation, and then it becomes a foot race. You see the delay right there, and that's all it took.
Well, Jack Cust showing his speed. He showed safe himself and went back towards the first base bag after driving stop. Great play by Posey. But Bob Davidson calling him safe. And Jack Cust said, thank you, nice call. And he went back. That could have been out, too. I mean, it was a bang-bang. Could have gone either way.
There's a double play ball. Side of ball to Sanchez. To Posey. Out of the dirt. Double play.
Well, Posey's playing first base tonight like he's played it his whole life. Lincecum getting a ground ball to the Panda. And a nice easy turn for Freddie Sanchez. Down the dirt. Not a problem for Buster Posey.
So Mark Ellis hits into the double play. Ellis now 1 for 3 with a walk, and here is Derek Barton. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt and a big curveball. Wow. And that's there's been so many curveballs that have just been in the strike zone. Gio Gonzalez threw several that have been called balls by Tim Cheetah tonight. And I don't know why Barton swung at that one. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The double play ground ball, 15 ground ball outs for Lincecum, and that's amazing. We saw Trevor Cahill yesterday against the Angels, 15 ground ball outs in 8 innings.
The high fastball misses. The Giants bullpen for the first time has action going. As Lincecum just threw his 100th pitch of the night. There's Jeremy Affeldt, the left-hander up, and Brian Wilson is going to come into the picture there momentarily. Well, he never did. The changeup, or the two-seam fastball, I beg your pardon, down and away. 3-1. But Brian Wilson has also now started to throw in the Giants bullpen, along with Affeldt. On the outside corner, and it's a full count. The Athletics have Jerry Blevins, a left-hander, throwing in their bullpen. 6-2 Giants here in the 8th inning.
They don't want a ground ball here, do they? I think they're looking for the strikeout.
Ooh. 90-mile-an-hour fastball right across the letters.
Surprised he didn't throw a changeup. As good as he is throwing the changeup for the last 4 or 5 minutes.
As good of a feel that he's had on that changeup since about the 4th inning. I agree with you. He is not afraid to throw it at any count.
The changeup into left field, base hit. So Barton gets his first hit, and it will keep the inning going for Ryan Sweeney. And Dave Righetti, Giants pitching coach, will go to the mound to confer with Tim Lincecum.
Well, simple question here. How do you feel? Sure, Lincecum wants to finish this inning at least. I don't know if they'll extend it back into the 9th inning, but
all right, you're a pitcher. You're an excellent pitcher. I mean, if a manager or coach ever came out and said, "How do you feel?" What did you ever say? Did you ever say, "I'm done"? Did you ever say that?
No.
So why even ask?
Well, you know what? I mean, they want to hear you say it. They want to look into your eyes as you're saying it, because your eyes don't lie.
But how surprised would a pitching coach or manager be if the pitcher, "I'm done, take me out"?
Well, I mean, when you're hurt, you say you're done. But I mean, other than that, you just don't. I mean, that's not your. And I really believe that managers and pitching coaches really expect you to give them an honest answer, but you're not. You're just conditioned that way.
You know what's even better? Ask the catcher.
Yeah.
How's he throwing? And if the catcher is honest, he'll be honest. I mean, instead of worrying about the pitcher being upset if he says bad.
And Sweeney, and that's a ball up and away. So why didn't go to the mound? Just go to the home plate and talk to the catcher.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, catchers always had a sign as to when the guy was done. You can let the manager in the dugout know that this guy's toast.
2-0.
But I think the way that Lincecum has pitched tonight, I mean, you at least owe him the opportunity to try and finish this inning.
It means so much more for a pitcher to finish an inning instead of being taken out.
2 down to the 8, 6-2 Giants. There is Uribe over to Sanchez for the force out on Barton, and he finishes the 8th inning with his 107th pitch and receives a nice ovation as he heads off.
The game brought to you by Samsung. Turn on tomorrow. We go back to the 3rd inning. Giants trailing 1-0 when Pat Burrell steps up and gets a fastball out of the plate up from Gio Gonzalez and hits his first home run as a Giant. And it would give Tim Lincecum the lead, and he has not given it back, and that is our turning point of the game.
Benji Molina also with a 2-run homer as he faces Jerry Blevins in from the Oakland bullpen. Blevins is in his 27th game of the year. 4.5 earned run average, 22 innings, 29 hits. Kuzmanov, plenty of time there, and Molina is now 2 for 4 in the game with a couple of RBIs.
Jerry Blevins doing a very good job for the A's. One of 3 lefties the club has in the bullpen. Good fastballs you just saw. Good curveball that kind of throws to the outside part of the plate to the right-handers, freezes them and floats it over in most cases for a strike. Only 8 walks for Jerry and 22-plus innings.
It's pretty good, 22 innings and 25 strikeouts.
Yeah, he's been very good.
Pablo Sandoval 0 for 2 with a walk. There is Ellis in front of it. And he throws out to Panda. At number 2, he made a brilliant play to get Sandoval back in the 4th inning. So 2 down, and here is Aaron Rowan coming up. And Jeremy Affeldt is back up in the Giants bullpen now. So what do you think, Michael? We've seen the last of Tim Lincecum?
Yeah, I would think so. A great night for Tim Lincecum, and as he continues his road back to that nice throwing motion that he had in April. And I think you can say that tonight is pretty convincing that he is real close to being 100%.
Meanwhile, in the All-LA Interleague matchup at Dodger Stadium, Angels-Dodgers, it is 8-1 Angels in the last of the 7th inning. That's Joel Pinheiro pitching for the Angels. And he's got a 5-hitter going in the last of the 7th. The Angels had a 3-run 5th and a 4-run 6th to break that one open. Out into left center. And there is Patterson on the edge of the warning track. 4-pitch inning for Blevins. On to the 9th. 2. The Giants are leading the Athletics, and left-hander Jeremy Affeldt comes in to pitch for the Giants. Tim Lincecum with 8 strong here tonight.
There you see the numbers for Affeldt. This will be appearance number 20. He was recovering from a leg injury, had a strain to a hamstring area. And his last outing after a period of about a week where he hadn't pitched, he was pretty rusty, very concerned about it. And in Cincinnati, he threw 2 innings. The first inning of his relief, he really got kind of spanked around the first 3 or 4 hitters, and then all of a sudden it clicked. He got his release point back down around the knees and really accentuated his sink. He got that big curveball back, and he had a nice second inning, and he started to feel like he's got his body back and he's feeling confident again. So this will be a very interesting outing.
Started poorly, but then retired the last 6 men he faced as Kuzminov hits a base hit to left field, and that's his 3rd hit. And Ray, you said early on he'd been hot lately.
Very hot, and of course his setup where he has the bat extended back with really no trigger. He just goes from one point to the next point. And he has been swinging very well, fastball inside. But look at his setup where his hands are back. No movement except to go right towards the pitch. Something that he has done. Sometimes a good fastball gets in, but he's getting quicker and quicker. Generating some power and getting on base with a 12-game hitting streak.
You know, he has a different looking stance, but right. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Paul Molitor, who's now in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
He just started from nothing and got the swing off.
No load.
Yep.
No load
whatsoever.
A no load. And one of Paul Molitor's great moments was at a banquet when he was still playing. And he'd established himself as one of the best hitters in the game long ago. And at that banquet was Joe DiMaggio. And Molitor comes walking into the banquet hall, and he hears a voice out in the darkness holler his name, says, "Come over here." So he walks over, and it's Joe DiMaggio. And he says, "Your swing, it reminds me of me. So I really enjoy watching you hit." And I figured Molitor said he probably would live 100 years since he did not keel over from a heart attack right there. So that was a shot. That one is way out there in the Death Valley and caught by Sherholtz. There's a lot of room out there for a guy like Sherholtz to show his range.
And Adam Rosales swinging the bat well. That ball hit well, but you're right. Sherholtz, that ball is slicing back towards the right fielder. No dive necessary here. Plus, come up and rob him.
At the start of the play, I mean, a right fielder here in this ballpark is going to cheat way off the line and take that gap away. If he plays a normal straight setup in right field, there's nowhere near. That's a double at least, maybe a triple.
So one away, Adam Rosales, the pinch hitter for Gross, and here is Landon Powell. The Athletics playing without their regular catcher, Kurt Suzuki, on bereavement leave, and he'll miss the weekend.
When I was with the Cubs, we used to always tell rookies when we play the Brewers, and Molitor would lead off, we'd always say, "Listen, you're pitching today against Molitor. He always takes a first pitch fastball. Just groove it right in there." And it was, which he never took a first pitch fastball. And he would never miss a first pitch fastball. Man, it was amazing how you would throw your best fastball and then go back up third. What a hitter.
Would the rookie then seek you out and revisit that initial conversation?
Well, he would understand that he was the entertainment for the afternoon. But it was spring training, so it didn't count. Plus, we'd always tell him, you need work on your stretch anyway. So
I think Paul Molitor was the first 3,000 hit player to hit a triple for his 3,000th hit. And then Wade Boggs hit a home run for his 3,000th down in Tampa.
Which was sort of against form because he didn't hit many home runs.
He could have if he wanted.
He had the one year he hit 24 home runs and said, "Okay, I did that," and then went back to hitting six or seven every year and hitting 365 just about every year with 100 walks on top of it.
And he could foul off more tough pitches at Fenway and get extra swings than anybody had ever seen.
The curveball. Strike 3 call.
Well, that's the weapon right there that had been elusive to Jeremy Affeldt earlier in the year, and he finally got all of his mechanics back. He got everything going good where his curveball was reliable. He was getting ground balls again with his fastball, and then he hurt his leg. So now that's a good sign for Affeldt and everybody else involved with the Giants.
They're having a wild game at Coors Field in Denver, and it's the first time this year that Ubaldo Jimenez has allowed more than 2 earned runs in a game. The Toronto Blue Jays, Aaron Hill has hit a home run. Jimenez is leading the game 4-3 after 5.5 innings. But they put 3 runs, 5 hits on the board against him, and that's as much. It's more than anybody has done against Jimenez in any game so far this year. Jake Fox, the pinch hitter for Patterson, former Cub.
You'd think somebody who's pitching as well as Jimenez, you guys have seen him, with the possibility of winning 30 games, but I don't think they make enough starts to win 30.
That's a fair ball, and well, Affeldt would like to do that one over again. He really had no chance to get Fox anyway, and over to third on the throwing error goes Kuzmanov.
Well, you never know when you're going to make a highlight film. And you're right, he probably would have been better off just taking a bite out of this.
And a safe situation, so guess who's coming in as the ball thrown straight into the ground.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Intentionally grounding.
Brian Wilson comes in. The possible tying run is on deck. But if the possible tying run is either at the plate or on deck when you enter the game, then that's a save situation. And a fastball in there at 98 miles an hour for a strike to Cliff Pennington with runners at first and third, Kuzmanov at third, and Fox at first.
There you see the numbers for Brian Wilson. 25th time he's come into a game. 15 for 17 in save ops. 36 strikeouts and 25 2/3.
And the Athletics down 6-2 going to the ninth inning. Regardless of the final outcome of this game, achieve something. They got the closer up and into the game. Back to the screen. 0-2 tomorrow at 6:05. Barry Zito for the Giants, who has never beaten his old ball club. And he'll be up against Ben Sheets, the veteran right-hander. Two strikes to count to Pennington, who hit a triple his last time and is 1 for 3 in the game. One ball, 2 strikes. Wilson will be getting more strikeouts this year than ever before, with those 36 strikeouts in 25 2/3 innings. So he'll try it again. That is a foul ball, says Bob Davidson.
Sometimes you just never know. It just has to go over any part of the bag. Davidson looking right down the line and immediately called it foul.
It's not where it bounces after it passes the bag. It's where it was in relation to the bag as it passes by. 1-2. Backdoor slider, strike 3 called, and the ball game is over. So Wilson does save it, and it's a win for Tim Lincecum, and it's the first win for Lincecum in a while.
Well, you got to look at his body of work tonight and be very happy about it if you're the Giants, because he had everything working. He warmed up a little slow, didn't get his rhythm.